This station is now the ultimate power in the universe.
This table is really tilted.
Excuse me? Am I gonna get a chance to speak?
Maybe I should take that back.
Denied. Damn, son, where'd you find this?
Take a giant step for mankind.
Welcome to the Tilted Table with your hosts, Sean and Joe.
Folks, welcome to another episode of The Tilted Table, the internet's answer to a question that no one asked. I'm Sean Kabibi.
And I am Joey Joe, the Fracky Mac.
And happy 2026. How's it going, buddy?
I feel like Rip Van Winkle. Like I grew a long white beard. And what do you mean by that? Y2K was just yesterday, dude.
No, it wasn't.
I remember like staying up until midnight, waiting for all the computers to shut down, airplanes to fall out of the air, electricity to go out. And then, lo and behold, nothing happened. And that feels like just yesterday. And to think that that was more than a quarter century ago, I'm Rip Van Winkle.
Yeah. Well, I didn't buy into Y2K. Didn't think it was going to be a thing. And mainly because I guess the people that were really, claiming that it was going to happen were all the people that I've always known to be conspiracy theorists that had wild ideas about shit that was never going to happen except in their own little brain. So when they were like talking about it and they were damn sure it was going to happen, I'm like, you also think, aliens, alien lizard people live among us currently. So, I wasn't going to buy into it. But
they're wearing skin suits?
Yeah, they're wearing skin suits. But the other thing that sort of sold it for me was the fact that, actually, this is weird. I just had dinner with James and Nicole and Love the other night, and we talked about where the first place on the planet where New Year's happens and where's the last place. And it's these two small islands that are literally right next to each other. So conceivably, if you were on the island that gets it first, you could just travel what looks like maybe 2 or 3 hours by boat at the most to the island and wait. I guess it would be 24 hours to come around.
Oh, that's crazy.
I don't know how long it takes to get around. But anyways, the idea that like I waited for, and my go-to country is Australia. They're pretty much a first world industrialized nation like us, and they're 18 hours in front of us, 19,
something like that,
or maybe 21. No, they're 18. Well, anyways, yeah. Guess what? Y2K didn't hit them. So everybody was walking around going like, oh my God, it's only a few hours away. And I'm like, no, dude, half this fucking planet is flipped over already. And like some of the poorer countries have flipped over. And guess what? Their Super Mario Brothers are still working fine. So I think we're good. But people held on to it to the very end. And the conspiracy theorists that really bought into this were absolutely disappointed that it didn't happen.
Yes.
Just like every other freaking weirdo who's a conspiracy theorist or doomsday, philosopher, when it doesn't happen, they're so fucking disappointed that their world didn't end, which doesn't surprise me because if you live like that, I'd want to be dead too.
Yes. Well, it's kind of like the other follow-up. There's been a bunch of follow-ups, but the whole Mayan, was it the Mayan New Year?
Yeah, that was 2012.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember it was like, when the sun rises in the morning, there's going to be some glint off of the Luxor Tower in Las Vegas that's going to set the world ablaze.
Yeah, and it's so strange because people that buy into this shit, they really want to have like I told you so moment, and they the only time they would actually have that moment is when the shit's actually happening. So if you've ever seen the 2012 John Cusack movie. It's about the Mayan end of the world.
Yeah.
It's basically Independence Day, just a shitload of the highest end effects to make the world absolutely collapse on itself.
Right.
Like, people want that to happen. So in the middle of that, they can look at you and go like, I told you so!
that and the fact that they spent all of the money like prepping, right?
Yeah, well, I guess so. But hey, you know what? Those prep packets, those things last for decades. So, it's not a bad investment because it may not be Y2K. It could be 2012. It could be, war between, China and America. Maybe it's 99 Luft balloons. We accidentally set off nuclear war. That's an old reference going way back.
I like that. That was good. I see what you did there.
So, I mean, you could have those around. And if the end of the world never happens, you can just open the fucking meal up and eat it. Anytime. It doesn't even have to be an apocalyptic event. Just you're hungry and there's nothing else to eat.
It would be a great dinner party idea.
Oh, God.
What is this? An MRE? Is this a brick? Is this edible?
Well, yeah. Well, 2026, we're still here. Right?
Mm-hmm.
There's not an apocalypse happening. That's a good sign. Because I'm not ready to go yet. And if I'm gonna go out, I don't know if I want to go out in an apocalypse.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
You don't watch like asteroids fall out of the air?
I don't think so. I think I would be more inclined to go with aliens showing up.
Ooh, see, I'm not on that page. I forget the name of the show. It's been a minute since Cookie and I have watched it, but on Apple, that's about alien invasion, and it's very well done. But yeah, a hard pass, dude.
What is the concept of the show? What is it? Do you remember?
Well, that's exactly what happened. Is there's some like aliens that came from across the galaxy, and there's some.
But I mean, is it like V or what? How does the storyline work? Are they friendly?
No,
and they're evil. They're evil right out the gate.
Evil right out of the gate. They're here to seek and destroy.
So I don't know. See, that's weak. Anytime that there's those kind of movies, I mean, Independence Day, I think did a pretty decent job because they were evil from the start, but they were playing chess, right? They were kind of positioning themselves. And then all these motherfuckers are standing on skyscrapers going like, we welcome you. Because they're not doing anything. They're just hovering above us.
Right.
So I guess the initial thought is, well, like, maybe they're here to greet us. They just haven't greeted us.
This is a more updated version of Independence Day. The acting, the directing, it's all really good. But let me see if I can pull it up here for you. I don't remember what it was called.
You've seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind, right?
Of course, yeah, that's a staple.
I've never seen it. So is it the evil aliens? Are they evil right out the gate? I'm definitely going to be getting some shit for this.
It's called Invasion.
Oh wow, God!
Duh, there you go.
I wonder how much time they spent on that title. I have a movie about an alien invasion, but I really need a cool title. Invasion? Okay, cool. I'm good.
See, and I would not want to be alive during like a Predator versus Aliens type of situation. Like I'm cool off all that, man. Well, I'd rather do the asteroid shower.
Well, see, the thing is that the alien thing. I mean, look, I'm not advocating, deleting oneself, but if you were in a situation where the aliens, this ain't going to end well, and I don't know, they're torturing you or they're doing experiments, and I'm like, okay, I'm not going to be a part of that. Mm-hmm. But for some reason, I'm thinking like it's got to be an end of the world thing. Would like to see the alien. Maybe this is my "I told you so" moment, right? And go like, you know what? Fucking told you, told you. If they could get here, we're done.
Yeah, yes. Invasion does bring a great like current view to that whole situation, and like using nuclear weapons and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I don't want to live through that.
I know, maybe because I believe in aliens, and when I say I believe in aliens, not necessarily what you would typically think of aliens flying over our planet or landing here. I just believe that out of the millions of stars, billions of stars and planets, there is another planet out there that has to have some kind of life on it. What that life looks like, I don't know. It's probably, I would assume, intelligent life. So aliens in terms of there's people on other planets or some kind of life form on other planets, and they just can't get to us and we can't get to them. Whether they're hostile or like us, well, we're hostile, but you know what I'm saying. Whether they're, nice or human-like, I don't know, but I know they exist. So my thought is that if they're out there, if they've been around longer than us, it's conceivable they could have technology. If they did arrive, I would be curious to know, are they going to be like just so supremely evolved that they're the ultimate rational kind of beings? Or are they going to come here and say like, well, I'm looking at you like you guys look at cockroaches because they're so far beyond us, and just, you guys have got water and some other gold or whatever shit you have that we want to take. We're just going to stomp you out and, take your resources. I would like to see like which one shows up, and just to get one to validate the fact
quick
that
litmus test.
Right. Yeah. To validate the fact that I knew you were around. Like, I knew you were out there. I knew it. And, and then if they decide like, well, we have no use for you, we're going to stomp on you and wipe you people out. I would be like, okay, I was kind of wondering if you guys would come in hot and mad, evil, if you'd be like, diplomatic, or do the whole Twilight thing where you take us to your planet and you cook us up for food, and we're ignorant enough to think that that's not a cookbook you're holding in your hand. Another old reference to Twilight Zone. I would just want to know, like, confirm it, kind of know what's going on. And then I'd be like, all right, well, I'm not going to let you, probe me or whatever the fuck you guys do. I'm out.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Because at that point, deleting yourself would not violate the Bible at all. Because they say, like, if you kill yourself, you can't go to heaven. I'm like, aliens just showed up. I think your book here is not as accurate as it once was. So I'm going to gamble that if I do myself in, that wherever pearly gates I end up at, and they say you're not allowed to kill yourself. Really? Because that book also said that there weren't people like these things that showed up that forced me to do this to get here.
You're such a great storyteller. Okay, so there's something else. You had a story you wanted to talk about.
Oh, shit, yeah. And this is really not that big of a deal. I just, the idiocy of online influencers. There's this dude from Spain. I guess he's a fairly well-known influencer. His name was, so you know where this is going. His name was Sergio Jimenez. And I guess part of his shtick was he'd go on live streams, and for donations, he would drink copious amounts of booze and do copious amounts of drugs. So on New Year's Eve, people were just paying him, I guess, a bunch of money. He did 6 grams of cocaine and killed himself.
What in the world? That is wild.
So look he was 37 years old. So he's not like a dumb kid. He's still an idiot, but he's not like a dumb kid.
That's crazy.
I know enough about drugs, and I've flirted enough with drugs in my life, and I'm very familiar with what a gram of cocaine is, and I'm very familiar with how much a gram will serve, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 people in a given night of partying. If you decide that you're going to do 6 grams of cocaine, you're going to die. That's it. There is no, like, well, maybe if or, hey, look, a lot of other people have, or the likelihood is I might. No, you're just going to die.
How did I not? Did that spread over the internet? Because I didn't see anything about that.
Well, is a guy from, they said he was Spanish. Maybe he's from South America. I don't know. But I don't think, I didn't see it live. I wasn't watching, the Coke
That's not
marathon.
how you get your rocks off.
It's not how I spent my New Year's Eve. I know we talked about I don't go out and party on New Year's, but I also don't go on live streams and watch guys do enough cocaine to kill a horse in a matter of I don't know how long it took them to do it, but even if, like I said, knowing my use of drugs and how it functions with cocaine, if you were to take 6 grams and line them up in lines, right? Like shots of liquor,
right?
And I'm just going to do one after, just do them. Right? I'm not going to stop. But you can't really do that with cocaine. You can maybe snort 2 or 3 lines, and it goes up into your nose. It has to drain into your sinuses. You just won't be able to. You can only pack so much powder up into your nose until your body absorbs it. So it would take him at least, for every 2 or 3 lines, he'd have to wait at least a few minutes and kind of get the drain going, and then maybe he could continue on. I think it would take him at least 45 minutes to an hour to do 6 grams if he decided, I'm going to keep doing it as fast as I think it can be done.
Wow. Is he in the Guinness Book of World Records now?
He should be.
That's
he's not in the Guinness Book of World Records, but he is in a casket. He's going to be on the next Darwin Awards. Yes. Because that is an absolute winner.
Choices have consequences. That is for sure.
Anyways, I thought that was a funny story. That's all I really, I wasn't coming packing with a bunch of cool shit.
So just to stick on this for just a second. So this guy had a history of, this is how he made money?
From what I read in the article, this is what he did on live streams, is he would, for donations. I don't know. Have you ever dealt with a live stream and donations?
No.
So you just fire up, you go live, like you go live on Instagram, right?
I've never have.
Oh, okay. Well, you basically just hit a button and you can go live, and anybody can tune in, and they have like a chat thing on the side. Okay. They also have where you can donate, like super chats and super stickers, and you can donate $5, $10, $20, whatever you want. Okay. And and then also, if he has like a Venmo, he can put his Venmo on the thing and say, oh, you can Venmo me with cash, or And then of course when you donate money, you can comment, $20, hey man, great show or whatever. So I don't know what his menu was like. For $20 I'll do 2 lines, for $40 I'll do 4 lines, or for $1,000 I'll do an entire gram in 30 whatever it is. I don't know if he had that kind of menu breakdown. It's like have you ever heard of a guy named Beard Meats Food?
Never heard of this.
This is one of the bigger YouTube eaters. And he's this guy from England, and he's got like 6 million followers. The guy's massive.
YouTube eater?
Yeah, he just goes to restaurants and takes on around the world and takes on whatever challenges they have. There's restaurants that have like, I got to
eat this burger, this 19 pounds type of thing.
And he wins 90% of them, and does it doesn't look like he struggles a whole lot with most of these challenges.
Okay.
And of course, his shtick is after he's done doing whatever challenge, he always orders dessert. And everybody at the restaurant freaks out like, "Whoa, dessert?" And he's like the ultimate English gentleman. This is a nice guy. You got any dessert? Oh yeah, I know. Peach cobbler? Oh yeah, well, that sounds great. Oh, I love peach cobbler.
Yeah, it's the...
So, the same thing, right? Just go online and say, like, I'm going to... Look, I understand that people will do things for money. Jackass, Steve-O, that kind of shit. And all this stuff is dangerous. But I think that the basic, like, most, like, lowest form of challenge is drinking challenges. Because that requires absolutely, in my opinion, no real guts to say, like, I've got a case of Budweiser's here, and I'm going to drink them all in X amount of span. For some reason, I think it's the lowest form of challenge.
Sure.
And you could say, well, how's food different? Well, try eating...
Space.
Well, yeah, try eating 20 pounds of food. Fucking try it. Like, I'm sorry to tell you, I could drink 24 beers. I could beer bong those things. I could do it.
Can you do a beer bong?
Oh shit, yeah, I could do a beer bong. Now, I'm not saying I could do 24 without puking, especially if you're telling me you've got like, I don't know what the time frame would be, an hour to drink 24 beers or something like that. Yeah, I could physically do it. I again, like this asshole, I probably could die. So to me, drinking challenges or drug challenges, to me, the lowest form of challenge. Because even in Jackass, and some guy's like, well, I'm going to put myself in a shopping cart, and I'm going to put myself on the tallest hill in whatever city, and then, it's a steep ass hill.
San Francisco.
Yeah, and I'm going, there's some real risk of physical injury here, or like, I'm going to put jumper cables on my nipples, and then we're going to shock it with a car battery. Like, I don't want to do that. Sounds fucking painful.
Yes. The one that I remember, and I was never an avid watcher of Jackass.
I never really watched it either.
Yeah, like 2 or 3 episodes, but I did watch the one where Steve-O gets his back tattooed while he's in the back of a truck that's going off-road racing or something like that. And I remember that was during college. I'm sitting there on my couch and I'm like, what in the world? That is wild. And that, speaking of challenges, I'm like, they're not on this planet. And then come to find out later, he's very articulate. I do like listening to him in these days.
Yeah, what is it? Steve-O's Wild Ride, his podcast.
Yep.
Yeah, I think I like Steve. I'm not a big fan of Jackass, and I'm not a big fan of Steve-O, but I kind of consider him to be kind of an American treasure.
For sure. Yeah, and he's I do enjoy the stories and the life lessons, and when you hit the fast forward button and you realize like how out of his mind he was on drugs during all of those episodes, you're like, oh, that makes sense.
Why, you didn't figure that out when you were watching the shit?
That was early in my college career, so I wasn't putting 2 and 2 together.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just jaded as a child, or maybe I had enough family members that were alcoholics and drug users that anytime anybody acted like out of their mind, I'm just like, yeah, he's either drunk or he's on drugs. That's what I understood to be the case. People didn't do that without being completely loaded on something.
Right. Not in their normal mind.
Yeah, right. Normal mind.
For sure.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please?
Leave a like on the video. I know you're enjoying this. Can you shut up?
The internet's answer to a question that was never asked. The Tilted Table with Sean and Joe.
Well, and for this year, I know we touched on it briefly in our last podcast on New Year's Eve and resolutions and all that kind of stuff. Is there something crazy that you would do, like world's tallest water slide type of thing this year?
Somebody presented something, maybe I would. I hadn't really thought much about it. Is there anything that exists like that?
Street luge.
Well, rewind. Is there something in California that is the biggest, tallest something ride or not just ride, just anything that would be that thing?
The one thing that comes to mind, and this is an absolute hard pass, not in California, but in Vegas on top of was it the Space Needle?
The Sphere. No, not the Sphere. No, that's the big ball. The Stratosphere.
Stratosphere, yes.
Yeah.
Where it has like that roller coaster. There's two things. There's the roller coaster that dives out over the edge of the stratosphere. And then there's the chair that rockets up on the needle.
Yeah.
That is a no hard pass on both of those. I would go so far as to say, like, even if you said $1 million, man, just pick $1 million, not gonna do it.
Well, I will say that I've gone to the Stratosphere twice for poker tournaments, and I remember seeing it and thinking like it's not something I would do, only because I have a fear of heights. And so I wouldn't want to be like, shot out from the top of a fucking, the stratosphere. Because isn't it one of them kind of like the chairs that kind of spin around or something?
Right.
Yes. I'm not into that. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. It's something that I would have to be, kind of maybe coaxed into. I'd probably have to be drunk, I'm sure.
Yeah, I was going to say there would have to be some type of a chemical influence to do something like that. But even for me under that altered condition, no. Never.
I don't know. For some reason, I feel like, I don't know how to explain it. I understand this shit's heavily regulated, and I think I'm being real biased on the Strip because there's really nice parts of, the Las Vegas Strip, the higher end, hotels, and you've got your circuses of the world, the low end. And the Stratosphere it's in the shittiest north part of the Strip.
Yes.
It's not a particularly nice hotel. So I'm already walking in going like, you know what? I don't trust you here. I just don't.
It's like 2 clicks up from being a carny.
Yeah, exactly. And the thing is like I walk into the Stratosphere and I look at their food court and I'm like, I would not eat here because I think I'd get food poisoning. I apply the same logic till your ride's at the very top of the Stratosphere. Like, I don't know if I trust it.
It's 20-year-old plastic that's been bleaching in the sun. I'm not sure that it's still like safety worthy.
Wait, I remember there was these carnies, and I think they did this. They put it on. It was part of a YouTube channel. I don't know if it was YouTube or some kind of maybe Shorts or Instagram, and they got in trouble for this. So they would run the same shtick, and they would just film themselves doing it. So they would post the same joke over and over again, just with different people. Mm-hmm. So it's like they run like a roller coaster or something. So one guy's the guy who's operating it, and the other guy's standing there and he's doing maybe putting people in and checking them or whatever. And the whole shtick is the one guy's supposed to walk right before they launch the thing. He walks up to him and the guy's like, all right, let's go, and pulls the lever to launch. The other guy goes, oh, wait. And
those are great. I love these.
And the guy, and then of course they're filming
the
reaction of people as they start to go off on the ride as they're freaking out. What's going on?
Those are great.
They got in trouble for that, which they should, because that's a fucked up thing to do.
There's a couple of them. There's like the one that's kind of like the cliff plunge deal where the 2 people sit in the box and they're like, oh hey, your seatbelt, and then like they hit the button.
Yeah.
Or there's like this slingshot one where they're like, oh my gosh, I totally forgot to bolt you in, and they fire them out of there. I love watching those videos. And the other ones that are great are like those kinds of rides, but have like super G-forces where the person, like one of them will black out or something like that. Those are also hilarious.
I just think that, that kind of thing. Well, okay, I know it's a prank, and people kind of look at pranks in different ways. Some people think it's passive aggressive kind of asshole behavior. Because again, somebody's the butt of the joke, and if it's something that's minor, maybe it's not a big deal, but something that could conceivably be somewhat serious, and then of course the people get really pissed off, and then you can just be the passive aggressive. She can be like, "Oh man, it's just a joke, man. Why are you being so uptight, man? Right? You're the one that has the problem for reacting the way that you did, and I hate that shit." So yeah, I'm not really into that kind of thing. I think it's a fucked up thing to do. I don't really think it's particularly funny. Like, look at that person. They thought they were going to die. Look at them. They thought they were going to die. I don't know why that's fucking funny. Sorry, folks. I'm getting over a flu, so my voice might be a little off.
Oh man, I'm glad I woke up today. That was fantastic.
Yeah, I just but whatever, I don't think it's the end of the world or anything, but I don't find it to be particularly entertaining, and I just think it's shitty thing to do and just shitty behavior. It's the same. It's like pranking somebody that a relative is dead.
That's crossing the line.
Yeah, I mean, when people do shit like this, because everybody's got to up the ante, right? You got to take it a bit. You got to push the envelope further and further. And I just don't really dig that kind of shit. But okay, so we're talking about getting on some kind of wild and crazy ride. You know what? I tell you what I want to do. I saw this YouTube video, and it's about unique locations in California, and one of them is it's in Big Sur, and it's an old train ride. So it's like the old school train thing, right? And the entire thing goes through the fucking forest. It's all track, and it's running through the forest.
Why have we never heard about this?
And you're asking me. I'd never heard it either. And I'm sitting there, and that was the first thing I thought. I was like, why don't I know about this?
Yeah, that's like 2.5 hours away.
Right? So you cruise through this, but here's the thing. Halfway through the trip, there is a bar, and I guess this bar is in the middle of the fucking forest. There's no way to access it. It's strictly part of this train ride. So the train, you go down, you stop at this bar, and it's like 2.5 hours. People hang out, and it's got all kinds of games and drinks and shit. And then you drink there, and you get back on the train. And
that is so cool.
Yeah, I want to go to that fucking bar.
Yeah, no, I would do that in a heartbeat. Speaking of that kind of situation, there is in France, there's a little village called Verzy. So Verzy, Verzy. And there's I guess you could call it a bar. The name of the place is called the Perching Bar. Mm-hmm. It's up on, not the very tip top of a mountain, but up on the mountain. And it's basically a tree house that's probably like 60 feet off of the floor. And you walk these kind of rope bridges. They've got like boards and stuff that you walk on, but you basically like leave ground and then you walk into the trees, and then you sit in this tree house that is super modern, and it has swings for seats, and then you just sit in the trees and you drink champagne.
Well, see, I'm totally for that.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Yeah, there's another place I saw where it's in the middle of the forest, and it's a restaurant. And part of their outdoor seating is they have all these tables in the actual creek. So, I mean, when I say it's a low creek, it's like this, we're talking inches of water. Mm-hmm. But you sit in the fucking river. Like, not that's a dumb thing to say. You sit at the table, and everything's in the water. So you take off your shoes, and you sit at a table, and you got your feet in
Isn't there a place down near Visalia or something that has something like that?
There might be. I don't know.
Yeah, we've had some friends that sent us pictures like, oh, here's what we did last night. And like, that is so cool.
Yeah. I mean, stuff like that I wouldn't mind doing. I also got a map of all the ghost towns in California and the route you're supposed to take, the easiest way to visit all these ghost towns. Mm-hmm. And I thought that would be pretty cool. See, that's what what's the conclusion here? I need to do more traveling. I've been bitching about this. I was supposed to go to Minneapolis, but I got sick. And so, I'm like, and it was asking me like, why would you go to Minneapolis in the dead of winter? I'm like, I don't travel enough. How's that? Is that good enough answer for you? I just want to go somewhere.
You want to go to Somalia?
I want to go to Somalia. Yeah, I don't. I wasn't going to Minneapolis to deal with any of that. That's for sure. But yeah. So I was just like, yeah, you know what? This year I want to maybe just do some trips, and I think it's a big part of what I would like to do. Because I have enough time, I have the money, and I just don't do it enough.
Yeah. Speaking of like the biggest of whatever in the state of California, one of the coolest things over in Carmel Valley, so a hop skip from Big Sur, is it's called Refuge, and it's kind of like a day spa. It's the largest sauna in the Western United States. You can probably fit like 40 people inside.
Yeah, that sounds nasty.
Okay, so it's super high end. It's part of the Quail Lodge, so it's very, very fancy. If you go in the parking lot, you'll see Rolls Royces and Lambos and all that kind of stuff. It's very fancy.
I don't know, high end ball sweat, still high,
but
ball sweat.
But here's the cool thing is, so you go there and they have all of these different plunge pools of different temperature that are built into like these kind of rock type of deals.
Oh, see, that would be pretty cool.
So, and then they also have one of the largest steam rooms. It's all like, they got a bunch of eucalyptus is being pumped in there, and it's all backlit and neon. So you're supposed to do this circuit where you'll get into like the Arctic pool, and then you run and jump into the sauna or in the steam room, and then you go to the Pacific Ocean pool. But it's not like they have just 4 of these pools. There's like kind of, I want to say like 3 or 4 stations, and there's fire pits all around them. There's a sign when you walk into the front door that says "No children, no talking." It's fantastic.
Well, you had me at no children.
It's very quiet and peaceful. You get to watch the moss blow, or like the moss in the trees like blow in the wind while you're sitting in these spas. Yeah, it's pretty awesome, man.
That's cool.
So hit up the Refuge if you're going to go to the cocktail train.
I mean, yeah, it sounds like something I might be interested in. The plunges, cold plunges, warm plunges. I don't know. It's not. I'm not against it. It's just not something that I would actively seek out. I'd do it though. If I'm, when in Rome, do fucking the Romans, I totally would do it. But it's not something I would actively seek out. But I like the no kid thing. Mm-hmm. That's for damn sure. I mean, there's all these like bars and restaurants now that, well, not bars obviously, but restaurants where they're adults only, won't allow kids in.
Really?
Oh yeah. And it's a big market. Like people.
Where is this at?
They're all over the place.
Wow.
It's like a trend where you open up a restaurant and you don't allow children in. So you come to eat lunch, dinner, whatever it is, you can't bring kids. Adults only. And
is there any here in town?
I don't think so. I haven't heard of any.
Huh.
The only thing I've heard in town is that's odd or strange is that new club where you have to spend $3,000 a month for membership.
Yeah, that's such a crazy thing. It's got to be. There's got to be more things going on.
Oh yeah, they're laundering money.
Yes, for sure.
Oh yeah, because they could just create a members list that all these people pay $3,000 a month. Well, who's John Smith? John.
Oh yeah, you've seen him. Come on, man. We had cocktails the other night. He was the dude at the end of the bar. He bought the first round.
I know that they had some celebrities. I guess they had their grand opening. I don't know if it was a soft opening, whatever the fuck it was. And I think Snoop Dogg was there. Shaq was there. So one thing is, I found I talked about this with James, Nicole, and Love at dinner the other night, which was it just seems odd that like this town has gotten just to the point where there are some really nice restaurants, like legitimate like stuff that I think would compete with fine restaurants in Los Angeles and San Francisco.
Agreed. Yep.
But I don't think we've gotten to the point where we can have exclusive clubs because I don't think you have the clientele of people that would be willing to spend $3,000 a month, and that's for the membership. That's not for anything else. You go in there, you're paying for the food, the drinks, whatever the fuck's going on in there. And I know that ain't cheap. It's not like you're going to walk in and get a Pabst Blue Ribbon for $4. The drinks or food is going to be outrageously expensive. And they already got popped, as I understand it. And if someone from this place listens to this and like, that's not accurate, we're going to sue you. We are the fountain of misinformation. So I'm going by what I think happened. Is I think initially had claimed that they had a Michelin star chef, but then later it was like, well, he worked at a Michelin star restaurant or something like that, or some shit like that. So I don't want to get sued. But go ahead. Yeah. Let's see you get water out of a rock.
Well, it's funny because, as you know, Cookie and I are huge foodies, and we're very much in tune with the latest, greatest in cuisine here in the Valley. And the moment there, and so I worked out in the gym where in the parking lot where that was being built. I watched that thing that building since 2018 go from like an old reptile store to what it is now. Walked through it a zillion times. It's funny though, when the webpage came up, there was like a little line, like, so what are you paying your membership for? And in small font at the very bottom of the page, it says includes, I think this is the exact terminology, includes discrete services.
Yeah, I think there was somebody that had brought up the idea that are they running some kind of like, I don't know if it'd be prostitution. See, luckily we haven't said the name of the place, so they come and they say, you said all these things about our business. I'm like, what's your business? And they say the name of the place. I'm like, that's not what we're talking. We're talking about the other club.
Yes, the other one.
The other one. So I don't. Well, first of all, I don't know. People are crazy and do crazy things. I wouldn't think that's what's going on because I can't imagine they would be able to get away with that with any amount of success without getting busted pretty quick.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, you can have exclusive clubs like this or whatever. I don't care. But if you're really doing some illegal shit in there, especially if it's something like that, and you even have on your website, those types of services, or you're trying to use vague language, I mean, are you just asking for an undercover to go in there, and bust you? So I don't think they would be doing anything like that.
Yeah, I wouldn't think. I think it had to be maybe English as a second language.
Well, maybe it's strippers. Obviously legal things you can do, and of course, if anybody's ever been to a
dry cleaning is discreet.
Well, you've ever been to a strip club, which I know you frequent regularly, Joe. If you've ever been to a strip club, it's all legal, but there's obviously people that do illegal things in those clubs. So, I mean, I guess that stuff could happen. I honestly, I don't know. And I don't ever plan to find out because
no, I don't. Yeah.
I'm not. First of all, I'm not going to spend $3,000 for some membership, some stupid fucking club. I don't care who the fuck's there. You could have fucking Leonardo DiCaprio and Brad Pitt at a table. I couldn't care less.
True.
Yeah.
Facts.
So it's not something I would pay for. There's nothing you could offer me in a club in any way, shape, or form, and that includes all the illegal shit. Mounds of cocaine and naked chicks sitting on my face. You could do all of that, and I still wouldn't pay $3,000 a month. Because I could just take a standard $3,000, go get cocaine and naked women to sit on my face, and probably walk away with about $1,500 or so. And that's a one-time fee. It's not every month.
Man. Well, yeah, I agree with you that this part of the state is not ready for something like that.
Yeah, I just can't imagine they can find the clientele. Because the one thing that I kind of lean on is there's enough money in the town. There's people that have this kind of money, but those kinds of establishments are obviously geared for younger people. And the one group of people that don't have that kind of money, typically, if you're looking demographically, are going to be younger people. So you're really catering to the young, wealthy people in this town, which I don't think there's enough to sustain that. That's just my feeling. And even if you can initially get the push, like everything else, you're going to go to one of these social clubs. Again, this is not Los Angeles or San Francisco or New York or Miami or something like that. You're going to see the same stupid motherfuckers, for every day. And then eventually you're like, why am I paying $3,000 to hang out with the same group of people? These same group of people could easily just say, like, why don't we just move whatever it is that we're doing here to another location that doesn't charge us $3,000 a month? It's like once you make the friends and the connections, why would you be there other than the status symbol? To walk around and act like it's a status symbol. And so, I'm not into it.
I'm not into it. There's absolutely zero.
I have an important announcement for you, so stay tuned.
Yo, that's some next level shit, bruh.
So you got me. Big deal.
The internet's answer to a question no one asked. The Tilted Table with Sean and Joe.
Folks, thank you for joining us for another episode of The Tilted Table, the internet's answer to a question that no one asked. I'm Sean Kabibi.
And I am Joey Joe, the Fraggy Mac.
And I'm going to get myself a fake Rolex clone and an American Express Black card.
I'm going to default to my Diners Club card and maybe supplement it with a Chevron card.
and an EBT card, round it out.
Peace.